Thank you for coming today. It's like Mary Jo was saying, it's very busy down here in this area because we have this boat show because there's lots and lots of traffic. So we get to practice our yoga even more, right? Yoga, if nothing else helps us in our everyday life. That's what the practice is really all about. You know, it's not just coming to the mat and then leaving it there. It's about letting it seep into your life in a positive way. So switch the cross of your legs. Take off any glasses. And just bring your hands onto your thighs with your palms downwards. And start to settle down your thighs. When you do that, your mind might start to settle down as well. So settle down your thighs, move them down away from your hands. Bring a balance to your sitting bones. And just looking straight forward, starting to bring your attention here. This is your yoga time. So collect yourself, gather yourself here. And then see if you can keep the thighs descending. Use your fingertips beside you and lift the sides of your trunk upwards. Bring your outer shoulders back, bring your head over your shoulders. And move your right shoulder into your back and move your left shoulder blade into the back. And as you do that, notice if your abdomen starts to push forward. So keep the sides of the abdomen lifting. Keep the breastbone lifting upwards and bring your hands to your heart. Bring your head right over your shoulders and let your eyes close. And with your eyes closed, connect your body and your mind to your breathing. And as you inhale, bring energy up from the base of your spine into your chest region. And as you exhale, flow the energy of your head and your mind down into your heart space. Locate yourself just behind the breastbone. As much as you can, rediscover inner stillness. Attune yourself to that inner stillness. And please join me for 3 ohms. Lift your chest upwards, bow your head down. Release your hands down to your thighs with your palms upwards. Raise your head and slowly open your eyes. Okay, so stretch out your legs and then place your hands on a wall and walk your feet back. You can, if you need to, you can move your mat there. Some of you don't need to. You can also put your hands on the back of a chair. So either put your hands on the wall or put your hands on the back of a chair. So you can do just Ardha Uttanasana. So make sure that your feet are as wide as your hands. Spread the toes and press down through your heels and pull your kneecaps up. Connect with your breath. And with your next exhalation, see if you can move again the thighs back. So just that same feeling when you were moving your thighs away from your hands in the seated position. Now move the fronts of your thighs into the backs of the thighs. And it's really the top thighs. Move the top thighs back. And then press your hands into the wall or down into the chair. Straighten your arms. Keep your head right in between your arms. Take another deeper inhalation and just move your hips back. Move those hips back. Good. And then walk forwards. And you can come away from the wall now. Come back to the center of your mat. And you can turn your mat this way now, Mary Jo. So turn your mat sideways. And then have a block in between your feet. And bring your hands to the hips and bring your body weight back into your heels until you find that your kneecaps just lift. And then use your fingertips to move the top of the buttocks down and draw your outer hips inwards and lift up through the sides of your trunk. Stretch your arms downwards. Make your arms as straight as your legs. Move your shoulder blades into the back and then raise your arms up. Go up with your arms. That's it. So keep your thighs back. Keep the top of the buttocks down. Keep your outer hips in. And can you lengthen the right side of your trunk anymore? By pulling your right arm upwards, can you lengthen the left arm anymore? Can you roll your outer armpits a little bit further forward? Check to see that your palms are facing each other. That's it. And maybe you can move your arms a little bit further back, your inner upper arms, and then bring your arms forwards and down. Good. Now bring your arms out to the sides horizontally and extend from the top of your chest, from the top of your upper back. Turn your arms, lift the backs of the arms, the back of the upper arms into the front of the upper arms, right? And then raise your arms upwards. Good. Now we're going to do a little side bend to the left side. So hold on to the left wrist, or to the right side really. Hold on to that right wrist with your left hand. Inhale and then exhale. Take a side bend over. That's it. Yes, that's it. And just open up the space on that left side. Good. And then come back to the center. That's it. And bring your arms out to the sides and down. Good. Now raise your arms upwards. Keep reaching your arms outwards. Turn your arms. Keep moving your shoulder blades into the back. Raise your arms upwards, aiming your arms more towards the back of your ears. Hold on to this right wrist now with your left hand. Inhale and take a side bend over to this side, or just do the other side you didn't do before. It doesn't matter that much. Good. So keep your thighs back. Move those right ribs back. That's it. Good. Lift your chin up and come back to the center and release. Great. Now interlace your fingers in front of your chest. Turn your palms forwards. Press through your index and your thumb knuckles and raise your arms up. Keep the thighs back, top of the buttocks down. See if you can push your arms higher by moving the sides of your trunk upwards. Now, as you do that, make sure to relax the back upper neck muscles down. And then again, let's take a side bend over. That's it. Good. Opening up the ribs. Now move these left ribs back. Make sure your head doesn't start to drop onto the bottom arm. Come back to the center, inhale, and then go over to the other side. That's it. Keep moving those right ribs back. Keep your head off of the bottom arm. Make sure the bottom arm remains straight. Sometimes it wants to bend. Come back to the center. That's it. And then bring your arms forwards and down. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Lift each of your fingers, one finger upwards. Turn your palms forwards and raise your arms up. So with your thighs back, stand in your heels and your outer hips in. Can you move your arms higher by lifting the sides of your trunk higher? and then relax the back upper neck muscles down. Keep your eyes soft, inhale, and then as you exhale, go over. And just open up that side body. Good, and then come back to the center, and then go over to the other side. That's it. Good, and release. Bring your arms out to the sides and down. Tadasana. Just see if you don't have any more warmth, some circulation going now in the shoulders and maybe in the sides of your trunk, right? Okay, so let's practice Utthita. So you might want to get the styrofoam. Oh, you have it already. That's great. So you have take the block out and stand on one or two blankets. Stand on one or two blankets in this way. So your heels will be up on the blankets. One or two blankets. And I'm just turning it a diagonal for those online to see a tiny bit better. Okay, so once you have it, we're going to practice Utthita. And of course, you can go in and out, Mary Jo, as you need to. And if it feels better, have your fingertips on the wall. If anyone's dealing with any knee issues, you do this pose. You can still have your heels on the blankets, but you can practice with your fingertips on the wall. Okay, so that's a little bit more forgiving if you have any knee issues. And always with knee issues or hip issues, go in and out, make the poses dynamic, but do have that styrofoam in between your inner knees. That's it. So bring your legs together, squish the blankets with your heels. That's it. Reach your arms downwards. Bring your hands to the hips, roll your shoulders back. You can just bring your hands right to the wall there, Mary Jo, and then, or fingertips, and then bend your knees. So as you let the blankets really help to intelligize the heels. Keep your knees together, Kimberly, knees together. Yes, that's it. Move your thighs down, move your buttocks down, lift your chest up. And if it's possible, raise your arms up alongside your ears and push the sides of your trunk upwards to your hands, to your arms. Nice. And now straighten the knees. Keep pulling upwards, pull the inner knees up, the outer knees up, the fronts of the knees, the backs of the knees. Super healthy for your knees. And then bring your arms forwards and down. Okay, now let's see if we can do that. Some of you can try it without the blankets. If the blankets are really helping you, keep the blankets. The blankets are useful. But if you want to try it without the blankets, I'll leave that to you. Okay, so stand in Tadasana with or without the blankets. Have your feet together if possible. If you're having your feet apart, that's fine. Just make sure that your knees don't start to knock in towards each other. You can even put something in between the knees. Okay, so let's bring the arms out to the sides. Turn your arms, raise your arms up. Keep reaching upwards as you go down. So go up as you go down. Go in two different directions. Bring your body weight back into the heels or squish the blankets if you're still using those blankets. Move the thighs down, move the buttocks down, push your arms upwards with your side body and move your arms back. Nice, and now straighten the knees, pull up the knees, turn your palms out and bring your arms out to the sides and down. Well done. Okay, now let's practice Utthita Trikonasana. So you can move these blankets to the side, have a chair on your right-hand side. And of course, you can have two chairs there if you want to, Mary Jo. Okay, so you have a chair. The seat of the chair is facing inwards on your right-hand side of your mat. So stand in Tadasana. Good. So bring your hands to the center of your chest. Raise your arms up and out. Now step your right foot out near to the chair. Step your left leg out and bring your feet all the way out under the hands. Yeah, see if you can go any wider, Kimberly, with your legs. Yeah, good. Now turn your left foot in a little bit, turn your right leg out, and you have a heel to arch alignment of your feet. Pull up your kneecaps and make sure that you've really turned this leg, not just the foot. You've really turned this leg. Bring your left hand onto the hip and then get that length to come on this right side as you reach this right arm forward. Yes, reach it to the back of your chair. Pull the chair closer if you need to. Now straighten your right leg, press that inner right foot down and glide this right leg deeper into the hip. That's it. Glide that right leg. Keep your left thigh back, roll your left shoulder back. Keep that length on the right side, and then maybe you can bring your hand down to the chair, or you can bring your hand down to your leg, or you can also use a block on the little toe side of your ankle. And then once you have your right buttocks forwards, take your left shoulder back and lift your left arm up and reach your arms away from each other and turn the left ribs back. Now reach up with that left arm and up you come out of the pose. Turn your right toes forward. That's it. Bring your hands to the center of your chest and bring your arms and your legs back together. And then either move your chair, or if you have a second chair, you can use a second chair on that left-hand side. So stand in Tadasana, bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up and out. Now step your left foot out and then step your right leg out. Bring your feet all the way out under the hands. That's it. Now turn your right foot in, turn your left leg out all the way from the top of the thigh. Yes, and then draw the outer hips in, pull the kneecaps up, bring your right hand onto the hip, and then reach your left hand to the back of your chair. So press the inner edge of your left foot down, pull your left kneecap up, and draw this left thigh bone deeper into the hip. Yes, keep your right thigh back. Now roll your right shoulder back, move your head back, and then maintain that length on that left side as you bring your hand down to the chair, seat, or you bring your hand down to your leg or a block. Yes, keep your left buttocks coming forwards, move your right shoulder back, head back, and then take your top arm up and reach your arms away from each other. Utthita Trikonasana. Straighten your legs, your arms, extend your spine. Now reach up with your right arm and up you come. That's it. Turn your left foot in. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Step your left foot in, and then your right leg comes in and stand in Tadasana. Okay, good. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to take a variation with the top arm. So once I come down and I've gone through the different stages, this arm, I'm turning the arm and I'm going to bring this arm like I would for Utthita Trikonasana. So this arm is extended and I'm trying to roll these top ribs back. If possible, I look forwards, I lift my chin, lift your chin first, and then I can turn my head and I look up under this left underarm. Okay, so let's try that. So stand in Tadasana, have the chair on the right-hand side, bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up and out. Step your feet all the way out under the palms of your hands. That's it. Now turn your left foot slightly in, turn your right leg all the way out, and you have a heel to arch alignment. Firm your knees. That's it. Bring your left hand onto the hip and then reach to the back of the chair. Press that inner right foot down, draw this right leg deeper in and absorb the right buttocks forwards, keeping your left leg back. And then take your hand down further, your right hand, either to the chair or the leg. Now take your top arm up, reach it upwards, turn the arm and extend it. If it feels better, you can also bring the arm forward this way. If it feels better to your shoulder joint. That's good, Kimberly. Bring the arm closer to your ear. That's the way, yes. Press from the outer left foot and now roll your left ribs back and look up under that left underarm. Now lift up your left arm and up you come. Beautiful, Kimberly, that's it. Turn your right toes forward. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. Step your right leg in, step your left leg in. Nice. And again, see if you don't feel some length on that left top side. So put the chair on the right-hand side. Bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up and out, step your left foot out and then step your right leg out. Yes, under the palms. Now turn your right foot in, straighten it, turn your left leg out, straighten it. Lift your kneecaps, bring your right hand onto the hip, inhale. As you exhale, reach your left hand to the back of the chair. Press that inner left foot down. Draw this leg in like a straw, like you're sipping. Sip that left leg deeper in, keeping the right leg back. And then maintain that as you take your hand down, your left hand. And then bring your left buttocks forwards, roll your right shoulder back, take your top arm up, turn the top arm and extend it or bring it forwards. Yes, that's the way. Now, once you're here, can you roll your right ribs back, lift your chin up, and look up under that right underarm, keeping your left shoulder back. Bring your top arm closer to your ear, Kimberly. There you go, like that. Good, now lift up your arm and up you come. Nice, turn your left toes forward. Bring your hands to the chest and step your legs back together into Tadasana. Great. Okay, now let's grab a belt. And you can put the block back in between your feet. So have a block in between your feet and then have this belt over your left shoulder for Gomukhasana arms. So stand back in your heels. Now raise your left arm upwards. Turn the arm. Keep the arm close to the head, bend the arm, and now raise your right arm up and hold your elbow. Yes. So hold the tip of the elbow, the very tip. Yes. And it looks like you might, so yeah, if you hold the tip, looks like if you do headstand later on, you might need a channel. You might need a channel, meaning a blanket under your head. We're not doing headstand today or even in this class, later on in your practice. You see if there's a space between here, that means you have to fill in that space with something usually. Good, that's it. And then go ahead and raise your arms up and bring your arms out to the sides. Good, now raise your left arm up, your right arm up, that's it. Roll this outer right arm forward. Keep it close to the ear as you bend it and then hold. And pull that elbow upwards, the tip, the pointy tip of your elbow, and move your head back. Now, did your body weight come forward? Did your abdomen go forward? Keep the top of the buttocks down. Super good. And now raise your arms, bring your arms out to the sides and down. Good, now let's do the bottom arm. So bring your right arm out to the side this way, turn, and then use your left hand to encourage this right hand up the back. Okay, and once you get that hand up your back, again, if you have shoulder sensitivity, of course, you stay lower down. You stay lower down. You can use a longer belt, but use this left hand without shortening this right side. Now raise your left arm up, turn the arm, keep it close to the head, and then hold onto your fingers or hold onto that belt, which is right there. Yes, keep your outer left armpit coming forward, your right shoulder moving back, pull the belt apart or pull your fingers apart and move your shoulder blades into the back, keeping your head back. Excellent, and now release. Very good, so put the belt on the other shoulder. Okay, and then bring this left arm out to the side, turn your palm backwards, and then use your right hand to help this left hand up. Sometimes it needs a little bit of help, doesn't it? But when you do that, make sure not to shorten this left trunk. So keep that length. And of course, stay lower if you have shoulder sensitivity. Bring this right arm up, turn the arm, keep it close to your head as you bend and maybe you're holding on. Yes, settle your body weight back into the heels. And just notice how each time you do this, it might be slightly different. Your shoulders are living, right? So they're always changing. Everything in life is changing, except for consciousness, which is the witness of all that changes. So keep both sides of your trunk even. Roll that left shoulder back, outer right armpit forward. Move your shoulder blades into your back, and then release. Stand in Tadasana. Great, now take the belt away, and then you can take the block away as well. And we're going to practice Warrior One. So you might want to come over here, Mary Jo, and you'll be facing the orange wall. You'll just be working like this, just facing the orange wall, and you can come in and out, okay? Okay. So stand in Tadasana, you don't need your chair. But Ellie, who's going to watch this later, you might need something under your back foot, right? So you know to do that now. Okay, so bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up and out, and step your right foot out under your right palm and your left foot out under your left palm. And then bring your hands to the hips. You don't have to do that. You can just step right forward. Yeah, just step right forward. So turn your left foot in and then move your left heel further back. Turn your right leg out and turn. Now you're turning to the right. Turn your hips, turn your chest, and your head to the right. Good. Now, as you make sure that that left heel is down, like I was saying to Ellie, who's going to watch it later, if your heel is coming up or if it feels uncomfortable, put that blanket like we did in Utkatasana under that back heel, and then steer your left hip forward. Steer the left hip forward. Bring your tailbone forward. Keep your hands on your hips and bend your knee to a square. Bend your front knee to a square. Get your knee right over the ankle. And as you do that, straighten your back leg. Bring your body weight back into your back leg, even as you're bending that knee. Keep your shoulders back. And then maybe stretch your arms out to the sides like an airplane. Yes, and if you can hold it, Mary Jo, hold it. Otherwise, just go in and out. Yeah, that's good what you're doing there, Kimberly. Great. Go down with that right hip, straighten your back leg and bring your tailbone forward and lift the sides of your trunk. Super good. And now come on up. So that's a pose onto itself. It's called Virasana. So bring your hands to the hips, turn your right toes forwards. Taking the arms out to the sides is an actual pose. It's called Virasana, which means the airplane. And I always wonder, because they didn't have airplanes when they were making Sanskrit, but I guess it came later and they just put it into Sanskrit. Yeah. Okay. So turn your right foot in and then turn the right heel back. Turn your left leg out. Yes, good. And you have, for this pose, you have a heel to heel alignment, but you can always, of course, go wider. If your back heel needs support, take care of yourself and put something under that back heel. So as you press that right heel down, like we were doing an Utkatasana with the blanket, steer the right hip forward, bring your tailbone forward, and then bend your front knee. But as you bend your front knee, keep your consciousness in your back leg. Keep your shoulders over your hips. See if you can get your left hip as low as the knee, bring your tailbone forward, and then stretch your arms out to the sides, like an airplane, like a beautiful bird. Just you can face the same direction, Mary Jo. Just switch legs on that platform. That's it. You got it, Kimberly. Go down with your front hip, make the back leg straight, and bring your tailbone forward. You got it. Okay, now come on up. Turn your left toes forward, bring your arms and your legs back together. Good. Now bring your arms out to the sides this way. Revolve your arms. Raise your arms upwards. So again, we did this earlier, right? Urdhva Hastasana. So this is the arms that you have for Virabhadrasana 1. So the arms go straight up and they even move a little bit back. They move back a little bit. Good. Now turn your palms outwards and bring your arms out to the sides and down. So some of you can, once we take the arms out to the sides, you can take the arms up. Others of you will just keep the arms here. Fine to work with your hands on your hips. Bring your hands to the center of your chest, raise your arms up and out. Now step your left foot out under your left palm. Step your right foot out under your right palm. Very wide. That's it. Bring your hands to the hips. Turn your left foot in, move your left heel back. Turn your right leg out and turn. Make it about your back leg. That's the attention has to go into the back leg. Bring your tailbone forward and then keeping your hands on the hips, bend your front knee to a square, but keep your consciousness in the back leg. Keep your shoulders back. If you have knee challenges, you're going in and out, right? You go in and out, otherwise hold. Bring your arms out to the sides, tailbone forwards. Turn your arms and raise your arms. That's it. But as you go up with your arms, go down with your hips. Nice, Kimberly. Tailbone forward, arms back. Hit the arms back. Yes, super good. Now straighten the front knee. Turn your right toes forward. Bring your hands to the hips and deepen your breath. It's an invigorating pose, isn't it? Virabhadrasana 1. Okay, so turn your right foot in and then move your right heel further back. Turn your left leg out. And now you're turning to the left side, but keep your attention in that back leg. Steer the right hip forward. Support the back heel. Bring your tailbone forward and then bend your front knee. Keep your shoulders back over your hips. And maybe bring your arms out to the sides, shoulders, head right over the shoulders. Maybe turn your arms and raise your arms up. And as you go up with your arms, go down with your hips. Go, that's it, Kimberly. Beautiful. Straighten that back leg. Just look straight forwards. Move your arms back. Move your arms back. Yes. Excellent. Nice, Mary Jo. And then come on up. Turn your left toes forward. Bring your arms and your legs back together. Well done. Okay, now put your hands on the chair, on the seat of the chair, if you can now, on the seat of the chair, this way, and walk your feet back. And again, just have your feet right under the hips. Have your feet at least right as your hands. Spread your toes and press through your heels and draw your inner legs up. That straw image is super nice, right? To draw the legs up like you're, sipping a milkshake or an almond milkshake, whatever your thing is. Draw your legs up into your hips. Move those inner thighs back. Move the outer hips back. Straighten your arms and keep that length on both sides of the trunk that we've been working with today. Great, and now release. Okay, and now put this chair again on the right-hand side. And then you'll have 1 or 2 blankets under your knees. So I think we did this on Tuesday, Mary Jo. So I think 1 or 2 blankets worked well for you. Okay, so have 1 or 2 blankets under the knees, just for padding. And we're going to do a pose called Latch of the Gate. And the gate is the gate to inner peace. So we want to open up that gate. At least I know I do. More and more inner peace is good in this crazy world. Now bring this, once you're here, you have to keep this left knee under this left hip. So don't let this hip go here. Don't let this hip go here, right? It has to become stabilized as you bring your right leg out. That's it. So bring the right leg out and you have your toes upwards. That's it. And that you have a heel to knee alignment. A heel to knee alignment. No, you did this when you were on your knee, but you can, if it's too much, you can also do it sitting in a chair. If it's too much, you can try it. Otherwise, you can sit in a chair and you can do it this way with the left knee, this way, and the right leg out to the side. You can still do it that way. You can sit in a chair. Okay, if that's too much for anybody's knees. I don't know how your knees are doing, Marcia. Okay, so let's try it. So once you have this leg stabilized, press the outer left shin, have a heel to knee alignment. Yeah, that's fine. Great, perfect. Okay, and then raise this left arm up. That's it. Bring your right arm out to the side. That's it. Inhale, and then again, start to come over, bring your right hand down to the chair. Keep this top arm close to the ear like we were doing in that variation of Utthita Trikonasana. Press down through the outer left shin bone. Nice, Kimberly. Lengthen through that left side. Draw the right thigh bone deeper in and bring the right buttocks forwards, and the same work. Roll the left ribs back, lift up your chin and look up under that left underarm. Nice, and then release. Great. Okay, let's go to the other side. So if you're, So balance on your right knee. Make sure the right knee is right under that right hip. And there's a strong pressing into the shin. As you might have heard me say before, one of the reasons, from this pose, you eventually go into a pose called camel pose, right? Which we're not going to do today, but it's the camel leg, right? So this leg is like the lower leg of a camel when they lift themselves up after sleeping. I just saw some marks on my legs. I'm not sure how I got those marks. Do you ever have that? You look at your leg and you don't know how you got those marks. So that happens to me all the time. It was probably from banging into props here in the room. So keep your right knee under the right hip, have a heel to knee alignment, raise your right arm up. That's it. Raise your left arm out. Inhale. So this arm doesn't change. It just stays the same as you go over and you bring your hand down. That's it. You can, there you go. So press the outer right shin, that's your anchor, and then draw that left leg up. Again, that straw image. Lift your chest and roll your right ribs back. Maybe lift up your chin and look up under that arm. Nice, and then up you come. Great, okay. Let's do the first side again. So bring the chair over to the right side. Press down through this left shin bone. Bring your right leg out. Now, when we do it again, watch. So we'll come here. Some of you will stay here, but just like Trikonasana, you can start to go lower. You can bring your hand down to the shin or the ankle. Okay, so get ready. Press down through this left shin bone. Have a heel to knee alignment. This leg is turning out, just like Trikonasana. And then raise your arms up. Left arm up like Urdhva Hastasana, right arm out like Virabhadrasana 2. Yes, inhale and then exhale, go over, bring your hand down. Maybe this is as far as you go. Press that left shin bone down, good. Just stay on the chair, Mary Jo, that's good. Otherwise, some of you bring your hand down to the ankle. Nice, Kimberly. Bring the top arm closer to the ear. Roll the left ribs back, lift the chin up and look up under that left underarm and then come up. Great. Okay, now do you feel any length on this left side? Do you feel that length? That's good. Okay, so let's do it one more time on the second side. So press that right knee down, press your right down and bring your left leg out. Another way to do this, if it's feeling uncomfortable, is you can always do it with the knee bent and you can bring your forearm here. So if you're ever doing this pose at home, you can also do it that way. We didn't do that way today, but we just went straight to this. But that's another good option if you're struggling at all. So keep your right knee right under the hip, have a heel to knee alignment, and raise your arms. That's it. So this arm is in Urdhva Hastasana, this arm is in Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale and then exhale, go over. That's it. Press that right shin bone down. And then only if it's feeling good for you, take your hand down to the leg or keep your hand on the chair. And press that right shin bone down. Draw that left thigh bone deeper in. Keep the top arm close to the ear. Roll the right ribs back. Lift your chin up and look up under that right underarm. Excellent. Now lift up. There we go. And then come down. Great. Okay, now we're going to do downward dog with the chair. However, some of you can do regular downward dog. You can have your hands turned out at the wall and your inner index finger is at the wall. Those of you who haven't reached that place yet, you're going to do downward dog with the chair. So you bring the short edge of your mat to the wall and you put your hands on the front of a chair and you walk back. And you have your feet now behind your hips. So you're approaching downward dog, but it's downward dog with the chair. Okay, so either do downward dog with your hands on the wall. Have your feet at least as wide as your hands. Otherwise, you're doing downward dog with the chair. Yeah, do the chair, definitely. Yeah, that's it. Good, that's it. And then push your hands into the chair. Push the chair into the wall if you're using the chair. And straighten your arms, lift your hips upwards and reach your heels downwards. Those of you with the chair, your heels probably come down to the floor. Those of you away from, don't have a chair, your heels might be a little bit lifted, but you're still fighting to get them to go down. That looks good, Kimberly. And then push the fronts of your legs into the backs of the legs. Those of you with the chair, see if you can move your feet any further back. Move the feet any further back. Yes. Keep bringing your body weight into your legs. It's a standing pose according to the Iyengar method of yoga, even though we might feel it in our arms. Very good. Okay, and then walk upwards to the chair or bring your knees down. Good. So we're going to do that one more time. Those of you doing downward dog, turn around and have your heels against the wall and feel the difference. Have your heels against the wall, have your hands turned out 45 degrees. You'll use the chair again. Those of you with the chair, you're going to be repeating with the chair, of course. So you just get ready and you do the chair again. Walk your feet back behind your hips. push that chair into the wall. Push your hands into the chair. Those of you who have your heels, push your heels into the wall. Have your hands turned out 45 degrees, straighten the arms, and just have your heels like an inch above the floor, like you're trying to push the wall backwards with your heels. Push the wall back. That's it. Move the fronts of your thighs into the backs of your thighs. Straighten your arms and move your top of your chest back. So heels against the wall, downward dog. Feet are as wide as the hands. Excellent. And now slowly come down on the knees. Good. Okay, let's come back to the center now. And we're going to try to sit in Virasana. Okay, so for Virasana, you'll need that same blanket or maybe a wider blanket under your shin bones. And you can sit cross-legged, Mary Jo. So just organize yourself. If you have knee challenges, you can just sit cross-legged unless you'd like to try Virasana and see if it's coming today. So Virasana is the hero's pose. And it's very much related to the pose we've done today, like Utthita and like Virabhadrasana 1. Okay, so I'm just showing from the back. Most of you know, but just to review. So I'm just using this blanket as a padding for my feet and my shin bones and my knees. And my knees are together or close together. They don't have to be all the way together. And I have 1 or 2 blocks in between my feet. And then I move my calf muscles back and I sit down on the block. Okay, if you know for sure that you can sit lower, if you can sit like on the front edge of a folded blanket, that's fine, as long as you don't feel discomfort in the knees. And you're just going to sit cross-legged, do at the very beginning of class. That's it. Okay, again, if you have knee challenges, you can replace this and just sit cross-legged. That's completely fine. So make sure that the block is in between your feet, the calf muscles are back, sit as low as you can, and make sure that your little toes are reaching down as much as the big toes. And there should be some space between your inner heels and your hips. Don't let your heels push into your hips. That tends to happen. I have one student, she puts little plastic things here to help get that movement to come, right? So we're all different. So now, and it really comes from our genetics and our lifestyle. So bring your right hand under the right shin bone and pull that kneecap skin forward. Do the same thing here. So when you look down at your knees, they should be like even. You shouldn't feel like your inner knees are a lot lower than your outer knees. Bring more weight to the outer knees. If they are, you need to sit higher because the knees are, super important. We want to keep them for as long as we can. So have the heel of your hands at the root of your thighs. And just like we did at the very beginning, now move your thighs down away from your hands, but now move your hands into your thighs to increase that. And then lift your abdomen up off of your thighs and bring your tailbone forward. Roll your shoulders back. That's the way. Now interlace your fingers in front of your chest, turn your palms forwards and raise your arms up. Keep moving down through your sits bones. Go up through the sides of your trunk. See if it's possible to move your arms any further back, and then bend your arms and bring the knuckles of your hands onto the head. And as you do that, move your elbows back and move your shoulder blades forward without letting your abdomen go forward. If it's possible, move your arms back. And then when you go up, maybe your arms are behind your ears, but you're not leaning back. Yes, go up, go up, go up. Abdomen back. That's it. And then bring your arms forwards and down. Now, those of you with cross legs, just switch the cross of your legs. Switch the cross of your legs. Everybody else now will all switch the cross of the fingers, the interlace of the fingers. So turn your palms forwards rather, and then go up. Keep the root of your thighs moving down. Keep those sitting bones moving down. Extend upwards through the sides of your trunk. Yes, now bend your arms, bring your knuckles to the head. Move your elbows back. Move your shoulder blades forward. Yes, and then maybe move your hands back and then go up with your arms. And maybe your arms are a little bit further back behind your head. Just make sure that you're not leaning backwards. You're not dropping the back ribs. So as you go up with your arms, can you go down into that block with your sitting bones? Abdomen back. Good. Now bring your arms out to the sides and down. Well done. Okay, and then come on up. So take the block out from under your hips and then just swing your legs around and sit. You can just stretch your legs forwards. If you're in cross legs, just stretch your legs forwards. Have your hands behind you, and the feet can be hip distance or they can be all the way together. Open up the backs of your knees into the floor. That's it. Move your thighs down. Okay, now you might have to turn this blanket, so it's just under your pelvis. So I'm just going to turn it this way because I want you to come to a prone position on your abdomen with your blanket, supporting your abdomen this way. Okay, and you can just rest your hands under your forehead. And then we're going to adjust the legs. So come into this position. Make sure you have that blanket, if you're using the blanket, under the pelvis. Okay, now the first thing to do is just to get longer on the abdominal skin. So just lift up your head, bring your hands alongside your body, alongside your rib cage. You're not lifting up very much at all. Just pull your hands, press your hands down and pull the skin of your abdomen forward. Think of yourself like a snake. You're not going up. Just pull forward and lengthen that abdominal skin. It might feel kind of nice. It does for me at least. And then bring your hands back under the forehead and then lift up your right leg from the inner leg and reach the right leg back across your room so that the right leg is longer than the left leg. And then when you bring that right leg down, come to the middle of the thigh. Now do the same thing with the left leg. Lift the left leg up, reach in backwards, keep the inner leg lifting faster than the outer leg, and then bring that hand down. Super good. Now, take your hands out from under your head and rest your forehead on the floor and bring your hands back alongside your body with your palms upwards. And then lift your outer shoulders like the wings of a bird. Lift your chest and lift your head. Keep your fingernails down. Keep your toenails evenly down like Virasana. Move the buttocks towards the heels. Keep lifting the inner thighs, but pull the breastbone forward and go forward and then release. You can put your hands back under the head. Deepen your breath. So that's the very beginning of Shavasana, which is a pose that is super important because it helps us keep strength in the spinal erector muscles, which is, you couldn't stand up. We got those later on in evolution because earlier on we were always hovering down and just getting things on the ground, but then we stood up. So in order to stand up, you had to have spinal extensor muscles. So evolution gave us those. So now we're exercising those. Let's do it again. Bring your forehead down. That's it. Keep your hands down, lift your outer shoulders, lift your chest, lift your head. If it feels good, lift your arms and pull your arms back. Pull your arms back. Only lift your hands as high as your shoulders. Keep your outer shoulders lifting. Look forward, shoulder blades in, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, and then come down and rest your head on your hands. And just notice if when you do that, your heart doesn't start to beat a little bit faster. The backward extensions, they stimulate the nervous system. Okay, so let's do it again. Some of you will lift up the legs. So bring your forehead down, lift your outer shoulders, lift your chest, lift your head, lift your hands only as high as your shoulders. And then from your inner thighs, lift your legs. Lift your legs. That's good. So pull backwards with your legs, forwards with your chest, backwards with your arms. Nice. And release and rest. Good. Okay, now come on up, fold this blanket into what I would call shoulder stand size. Shoulder stand size. So you have it like just a regular larger square. And then you bring your shoulders 1 thumb distance away from the edge of the blanket. And you can make sure to have some blocks nearby. And if the blocks are too hard, you could also use a bolster, but just have your blocks nearby. So we're going to do Chatushpadasana, and then we're going to come into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Also have a belt nearby, because we'll eventually use a belt. So have those props nearby. So bring your shoulders 1 thumb distance away from the edge. So I'm always teaching you, even if you never do headstand, even if you never do shoulder stand, I'm preparing your body for those poses. Okay, so you bring your shoulders 1 thumb distance away from the edge of the blankets. Bring your feet as wide as your shoulders and bring your feet pretty much under the knees. And then hold on to the sides of the sticky mat, turn the tops of your arms out and raise your hips upwards. And press your upper arms into that blanket. Shift your body weight into your heels and draw the backs of your knees into the buttocks and lift your middle buttocks higher. Lift that middle buttocks higher and climb up onto the top of the shoulders on that blanket and then come down. That's good. Okay, so we'll do that again. So make sure you didn't slide backwards or forward on your blanket. Hold on to the sides of the sticky mat and have a slight turn in of your feet. Turn your arms out, turn your feet in and raise your hips up. So turn the tops of your arms out. Shift your body weight back into the heels. Lift that middle buttocks upwards. That's good, Kimberly. Get on the top of your shoulders. Top of the shoulders. Top, top, top. Yes, that's the way. So your breastbone goes straight up. Nice. Okay. And then come down. Very good. Now make sure that your shoulders are still on that blanket, and then you're going to reach for, maybe 1 block at the medium level, at the, rather the lowest level and the widest level, and put it under your hips. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you use 2 blocks. 1 or 2 of you, as long as your blocks are firm, you can turn both of those blocks to the highest level, and they're right next to each other, like bookends. So get the height that you can manage, that feels okay for you, and then see if you can just stretch out your right leg, but keep your right heel on the floor. So half Setu Bandha, and just lengthen the front of that thigh. So even though it's a level 1 class, we don't really get to a lot of back bends, although Shavasana was definitely a back bend. We work all the components, the shoulders, the hip flexors. Those are the components that you have to work on to move forward in your back extensions. And then bend that right knee and then stretch out the left leg. If those of you can go with both legs straight, just go straight away for both legs straight. Otherwise, do 1 leg at a time. The left heel stays down. And then once you've done it once on both sides, you can try stretching out both legs. And if that feels too much for you, you have a couple choices. You can just do 1 leg at a time, or you can move the blocks lower. Or you can even just keep your knees bent if you're dealing with some back sensitivity today. But this is really good because it lifts your sacrum up. Straighten your legs. Your legs are super active. That's it. Palms upwards. Relax the sides of your neck, your jaw, and your tongue. Good. Okay, now bend your knees and then lift up your hips and take those blocks out and let your lower back come down and let it settle down. Okay, now just fold this blanket up so it just will come under your head and your neck. So now you can fold the blanket up again, and you just want the neat side of your blanket under the head and the neck. And then reach for your belt. You can also have your bolster nearby for Shavasana. Reach for your belt. And just put your right foot up into the belt. And for today, just have your heel on the belt. Just have the belt on the heel, I should say. The belt on the heel. Rather than the arch of the foot, rather than the ball mound of the foot. And just keep your right leg at 90 degrees and then stretch out your left leg to the floor. And pull your right leg down, not so much forward, but downwards. And make sure that that right leg is straight. Press that left leg down and pull the right leg down until you feel some connection of your right thigh bone to your right lower back and your right lower back to the floor. See if you can make that connection. Keep the back of your left leg down. Deepen your breath. You're still moving the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs, but it's not about hamstring stretching so much, although you might feel it a little bit in the hamstrings, right? Good. Now switch your legs. So bring the belt on the left heel and stretch the right leg out. And as you stretch that right leg out, press that right thigh down. Inhale. As you exhale, pull your left leg down so you have a sense of your left thigh bone connecting to your pelvis and the left side of your lower back connecting to the floor, to the sticky mat. Push the fronts of your thighs into the backs of your thighs. Good. And now bring your right leg up to match it. So you have both legs up, pull the heels gently down. If you need to slant your legs forward, away from your head and your chest, that's fine. Otherwise, keep your feet right above the hips. Don't pull the legs in, and just pull both of your legs down. Now you should feel like both sides of your lower back are on the floor. Good. Now, release that belt and draw your knees into the chest and wrap your arms around the legs. And hug your legs into the chest. Feel free to have some space in between the knees. Keep your sacrum down. Okay, and now bring your feet down, slip that bolster under your thighs, under the backs of your thighs. Make sure that your blanket is under your head and your neck. Take off any glasses. There's a lot of light in your room. Put something soft, like a washcloth, over your eyes, or even your belt. Your belt can work as well. And then just bring your legs as wide as your mat. Bring your arms as wide as your mat. Turn your palms upwards. And let the little toe side of your feet fall open. And then once you feel like you've arrived in your Shavasana physically, take a deeper breath into your chest and have your exhalations a little bit longer than your inhalations. And with those longer exhalations, relax your legs and your arms completely. Relax your abdomen so that your internal organs move away from the surface of the body towards the back of the body. Relax across the top of the shoulders. And allow your lower jaw to release away from your upper jaw. And allow the tongue to relax in your mouth. Your lips are barely together. Soften and spread the skin on your face. And allow your eyes to settle back. Allow yourself a few moments of rest. Let go. And then see if you can relax just a little bit more. Now bring your hands onto your body and begin to deepen your breath. Bend your knees and roll to your side. And then slowly come up to sit. Every day is precious. Every day is new. Every day is fresh. Try not to bring your past into your present. Be here. And let's be grateful for all that's good and working in our lives, including our challenges, as we move into this beautiful day. Bring your hands to your heart center. Raise your chest upwards. Bow your head downwards. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mary Jo. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Leela. Thank